Yes. Yep.
So I've had requests for tutorials for the lace painting nails. So I wanted to practice that a little bit. That's what we're going to be doing here tonight. It's just practicing our lace painting. I'm going to need a little acetone. So for the design I'm doing right now, it's going to be similar to the scallop design in this picture. I thought it would make an interesting French tip. I've got down a base coat of a double rhythm mag gel. Can't really tell right now with the top coat. I end up doing a lot of erasing when I'm doing this, especially when I'm trying to film because the camera is always kind of in the way. But basically, I just went ahead and put down my guideline, sketched in my guide curves, and I'm going to go in and just fill in with this grid pattern, and that'll be the background for the lace, and then I'm going to go in and add some details afterwards. So this is just a lot of very thin, tiny straight lines. And they don't have to be exactly perfect. If you look at lace, the way the knots pull against each other, it kind of deforms the lines a little bit, so they're not perfectly straight in that grid. You want to try to keep them evenly spaced as best you can, and pretty close together, but you want to be able to see some of the background color through this mesh design, so you don't want to be too close together. And I just flash cure once in a while, after I get a few lines that I'm happy with, I'll give it a quick flash cure just to set that in place before I move on. That way, if I do make a mistake, I can just go in and erase it with the acetone. So that's all our vertical lines. Now we're just going to go in and do these horizontals. these really fine lines, you really are just using the last couple hairs on the tip of your brush. I'm not using any kind of fancy brush. This is just some cheap brush that came in a kit from Amazon. I mean, super cheap. I have trimmed it down so that it's not as thick as it originally was. But the real trick is that you just want to use the last few lines, or last few little bristles, very tip there. That's a very important line that I just drew that goes all the way across the bottom of the curve, because that is going to be the guideline for the lines on the other side that don't connect. That looks nice and straight. And there's so many different kinds of lace out there and different types of netting that fills in these, big open spaces. There's grids and diamonds with dots and just all kinds of patterns. So and it's open work as well, so you can really just find a lace that you really like and study it, and you can use the steps that I use to build the different components of the lace with no matter what type of mesh you're using to fill in. different to make sure that they don't bleed together, because I don't want them to bleed together. But that is why we cure in parts. So, what I'm gonna do, I really don't have any options. I'm just gonna have to flash cure, at least for a second, between each one. Just a couple of seconds in the flash cure will do it, just to keep those dots from bleeding together too much. I want them to stay pretty defined. So that's the bottom line. There you go. It's starting to shape up, look like lace. It'll be the same thing to that top line. Once you lay that basic shape down, it's just a matter of filling in with your netting, whatever kind of netting you choose, and then embellishing. You can do like I'm doing and make a dotted edge, or like I did in the other set that's in the thumbnail. You can just go over, make the line, your original lines thicker, and then go over them with another layer to give them a little bit of height. I finished that set with some acrylic powder for texture, but from what I understand, that kind of finish can stain really easily. So I'm not sure if I'm going to want to do it that way in the future. I'll have to do some experiments and see where I end up on that. It keeps trying to focus on my palette, I think. I'm going to try to get it out of the way. It's focusing a little better. It's looking pretty good. I probably could have gone a little closer with the grid pattern, but it can get tricky when you get really close. And I think when we top coat it, it's going to look really good. So I'm going to send that in for a full cure. Make sure all the black details are cured. Yeah, I'm planning to do several more lace nails, and you can really use any shape you want, to remain shape in there, as long as it's something kind of really simple and easily identifiable in a one-color print. Yeah. So you could switch them up for different holidays, different holiday themed lace with different themes, in the lace pattern. is a double rhythm cat eye from their Pink Nudes collection. And I am a fan of the double rhythm cat eyes. I will say though, they don't match their swatches. They're always a little more intensely pigmented than the swatches, but they have so much of the bag particles in them, and they're just so reactive. So I really enjoy using them. But yeah, if you're expecting to get the color on the swatch, in my experience, at least with the cat eye polishes, it's going to be a little richer in person than it is on that swatch or in the marketing photos. I'm putting just a little extra top coat on this one, a little more than I normally would, to just give it a tiny bit of encapsulation and smooth out the dots. Because this is not going to be a raised textured design this time. It's looking nice though. Here. And there she is. Got a nice flash from that cat eye. Such a pretty nude color. And you can see the flash